Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee, having some coffee with you guys here this morning. Trying to get some my work done here before the heat of the day. Garden has been doing well. We've already harvested potatoes, and my wife does this little thing where she boils the potatoes and then presses them flat, and then we put them on either the grill or the fire pit so they get kind of brown on the bottom on a little piece of foil, and put salt and pepper on them. And then if you really want to get fancy, you can sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on the end so they melt in. But the small potatoes that we harvested first were great for that. For our 4th of July get together, we use some of our onions out of the garden and some of the fresh dill that we got here. I got a really good crop of dill. I'm going to probably dry quite a bit of dill this year. Dill is something that we enjoy and we use when it's fresh as much as possible. And the peppers, the tomatoes, the pole beans, and the cucumbers, they all either have fruit already started on there or they've got blossoms all over it. So I'm expecting in the next 2 weeks here we're going to get quite a bit of stuff coming in. And then potatoes too, our main crop of potatoes. It's looking like probably 2 to 3 weeks we're going to be able to harvest some of them. So we're looking pretty good garden wise. What I wanted to mention here this morning is there's several kind of things that I'm really surprised haven't happened yet on this kind of little morning chat here with you guys. I'm really surprised that all the conflicts around the world that are going on now, because they all seem interrelated to me. I'm really surprised that they haven't escalated to a more of a problem than what they have been here in North America in particular. I'm really surprised that what's taken place over there in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, I'm really surprised that that hasn't really turned into one conflict instead of separate conflicts and then moved into Western Europe. I'm really surprised that that kind of stuff hasn't taken place yet. And I'm also surprised with all these things that have taken place here in the Middle East in the last few weeks. I'm really surprised there hasn't been some type of disruption in fuel. With those type of attacks and stuff that are going on over there, I can't even fathom that really nothing has really taken place. And 4th of July season is a time for really high gas prices usually, and gas prices have been fairly steady here. And we should count our blessings, because I think things could be a lot worse. Another thing that I'm surprised that hasn't taken place, I'm surprised there hasn't been some type of regional disruption in utilities, whether it's water or it's electricity or it's like internet and cell service. That's a big one right there. Internet and cell service. Everybody depends on their personal devices nowadays. And if something would take place with that, I can really see where that's going to throw people into a tailspin. And then too, debit cards, credit cards and stuff, that stuff all runs on satellite uplinks. I can see where that could be a issue as well. If there's any problems with any type of connectivity, that stuff is going to cause problems as well. And then general supply line disruptions. Every single thing that sits on a supermarket shelf has already passed through multiple hands and companies and stuff to get to that point where the shopper can actually buy that and purchase that. And then there's, problems that can happen right there at the retail level, like the debit card and the credit card thing that I was just mentioning. And, but trucking is a weak link. Anything where there is supplies coming over from overseas. We have all this. Take ketchup as an example. We got ketchup, but a lot of times the bottles will come from who knows where to put the ketchup in. And if that particular operation doesn't have the bottles that that's set up for, they can't bottle up their product. And if they can't bottle their product, they can't ship it and sell it. So you can see there where there's so many moving parts in the supply chain that can cause problems. And the same thing, I'm surprised really there hasn't been something with trucking as far as dispatch and stuff, because all those trucks are, dispatched. They're run on super tight schedules. If there's a hiccup in one place, there isn't necessarily people that can pick up the slack in other places to transport that stuff. So, like I said, we need to count our blessings, because every day where something doesn't take place like that gives us another day that we can do something to basically harden our own preps and harden our own situations. I try to take advantage of every single thing that I possibly can to make us better here. If something would take place where if we would have to, bug in, or we would have to stay in our local community, we couldn't travel, because that's another thing. I've always said this: if there's some type of major event, I can almost guarantee there's going to be some type of curtailing of movement. You're not going to be able to just move around like we can now. And that's another thing that people here in North America kind of take for granted. We can hop in our car and we can drive across the country if we want to. And that's not like that in a lot of places around the world. There's a lot of curtailing of movement because of war, strife, political turmoil, whatever. You can take your pick. And then going along with the conflict thing, we get everything from one large country, across the Pacific Ocean. And if something ever takes place with that country, in our country, the way of life here in the United States is going to change literally overnight. So those are all things that are constantly on my radar. I'm constantly keeping an eye on that kind of stuff, and I'm really surprised something hasn't taken place yet with the volatility of the world that we live in, because I believe our time that we're living in right now is some of the most chaotic times in modern history. And it has so many different flashpoints that could ignite at any moment for any given reason. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee, just having some coffee with you guys here this morning. I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there. Hope you guys always get something out of my videos. If it isn't a little tip, it's a little something to think about when I have these chat with you guys. You guys have a good one.